Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Over the past few days, Elmira police have received 6 reports of objects being thrown onto cars from overpasses in Elmira. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg has more on these incidents.
The Elmira Police Department have arrested 3 juveniles that are believed to be connected to a number of damaged vehicle incidents. Over the course of 3 days this week, there were multiple reports of objects being thrown from Elmira overpasses onto cars. Elmira police reported that the severity and size of the objects thrown had increased each day. On Thursday evening, the Elmira Police Department created a heightened patrol plan for the city's underpass locations. While patrolling the areas, officers observed a damaged vehicle at the Madison Avenue underpass. Officers located 3 juveniles on the Lackawanna Trail near East Washington Avenue. The juveniles were observed to have been throwing objects into the street. Officers were able to take the suspects into custody and transport them back to EPD headquarters before turning them over to their parents. Big Fox spoke with Nappy's Auto Body Shop about what kind of outcomes can result from this dangerous activity.
I mean, obviously it can crack, break, shatter. The rock can go through it. I imagine if there's somebody's throwing it over an overpass, it could injure somebody or even, kill someone.
The damage done may cost the victims hundreds of dollars to replace.
On a windshield, I mean, it can be anywhere from a few hundred to, whatever the cost of that particular windshield is. Just really depends on the size of it and where it's hitting, but anywhere from hundreds to thousands.
The investigation is still ongoing, and anybody with information on the incident is encouraged to contact the police. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Elmira.
SUNY announcing a record-breaking rush of applications to SUNY campuses. As of November 25th, SUNY has seen an over 110% increase in applications to colleges. This can be attributed partially to waived application fee that was applied earlier in the fall. During this 2-week period, students could apply for free to up to 5 SUNY campuses. Crisis Text Line, a suicide prevention partner, is looking for volunteers this holiday season. As a volunteer, you would provide support and resources to those struggling with mental health and looking for someone to talk to. Learn about becoming a volunteer. Visit crisistextline.org. The labor market grew again in November, defying fears of a recession. But some economists say there are a few points of concern. Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
In a remarkable sign of resiliency, the jobs market has notched another strong performance in November. The U.S. economy added 263,000 jobs, flying in the face of the Federal Reserve's rate hikes to tamp down hiring.
Our economy continues to grow. The economic report, the GDP is up even more than it was previously thought. We continue to create jobs, lots of jobs.
Leisure and hospitality, healthcare, and government saw notable job gains, and unemployment is holding steady at 3.7%. The labor market is defying expectations, even as major companies like Meta and Amazon cut jobs.
Amazon, Google, Facebook, they make a lot of money, they lay off a lot of people, and it's in the headlines. But the small and medium-sized companies that are profitable, they're growing.
But the labor force participation rate, a measure of how many people are working or actively looking for jobs, is still hovering at around 62%.
We don't have enough people participating in the labor force, and to see this month that we actually had more people opting out of participating in the labor force is very concerning. It doesn't make sense.
Wages are also up by 5.1% compared to a year ago. The growth could make inflation worse, a challenge for the Fed struggling to cool the economy.
I think there's an opportunity for us to bring down, have the interest rates to continue to come down, see wages continue to rise as they have, incrementally, but also have a good, strong jobs economy.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell signaled the central bank may slow down the pace of rate hikes in its December meeting. We'll see if the Fed sticks to that plan in light of November's jobs report. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
President Biden's student loan forgiveness program is heading to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said it will take on the case between the Biden administration and 6 states regarding the legality of the program. Arguments will be heard in February, and the loan relief will remain on hold for now. Under Biden's plan, some borrowers would have been eligible for up to $20,000 in student loan relief. Last week, Biden extended the pause of federal loan payments until June 30th, 2023, while the court considers the dispute. Ye, better known as Kanye West, was suspended from Twitter early today after making anti-Semitic comments. He was suspended after a post on the rapper's account showed an image of what appeared to be a swastika inside the Star of David. Twitter owner Elon Musk cited incitement to violence as the reason for the suspension. It's not clear how long Ye's suspension will be. The Chemung County Child Advocacy Center invites you to their annual Bowl for Our Children fundraiser. The fundraiser will be held at Crystal Lanes on December 17th. Bowling will begin at 1 with registration starting at 12:30. You need 4 people for your team. You and your friends could win a cash prize. All proceeds go to helping families and children in Chemung County survive abuse. For more information, call the number on your screen. This week, Big Fox is happy to feature Jack as our pet of the week, a sweet senior dog who would make a loving addition to anyone's home.
Well, folks, it's time for Big Fox's Pet of the Week, and this week we have Jack in the studio with us today.
So I have Jack here with me today. We're not really sure what breed Jack is. He's just 100% cuteness. He is an older fella. We're thinking anywhere from 10 to maybe 12.
Although Jack is suspected to be deaf or just very hard of hearing, that doesn't slow him down in the slightest. He just communicates in his own way.
He does look to you for guidance. Like if he wants to come into another room, you just motion him that it's okay to come. He has never barked at all. He's never made one sound.
Jack is very calm and loves people.
He's with other dogs. He gets along fine with them. Not sure about cats, but I don't really foresee that being a problem. And he basically likes everyone he meets.
Because of his lack of hearing, Jack would probably do best in a calm, quieter home, preferably with no toddlers.
So Jack will be part of our senior to senior program. So if there's any seniors out there looking for an older dog, Jack's adoption fee will be cut in half.
To fill out an adoption form for Jack or for any of the other animals Paws and Purrs has up for adoption, visit pawsandpurrs.org. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
Your weekend forecast is coming up next. Plus,
it's one of the world's most popular puzzles, and the man who invented it is reflecting on its success. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer. We'll have the details coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
We've been stuck under some dull skies here to start off the month of December, but we've been in a whiplash weather pattern where we've had warmer conditions, cooler conditions, windy, rain to snow, and we have still more of that ahead here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now we see through the overnight from midnight through 6 a.m., we're on a warming trend. We get from 37 to 40 degrees by sunrise, but we are going to work in some wet weather to start the day. So if you have some Saturday morning errands to run, you'll want to make sure to grab the umbrella. Not a washout, but there could be some pockets of some moderate showers where generally we're looking at about a few hundredths of an inch up to a tenth of an inch. Isolated a quarter of an inch can't be ruled out. So it's going to be on the lighter, but another gloomy day setting up. So as we roll through the forecast, we're going to note that the shower activity is going to be off of some frontal system. So there will be around some of those showers. You can see some moderate showers there, even possible to start the day. Maybe a little bit of an afternoon shower as well, but the afternoon showers will be associated with a cold front that is going to bring some lake effect snowfall across portions of New York. Could mix in a flurry or two at times as well across our region, but when we look at the potential of seeing some of those flurries in accumulation, pretty minimal, mainly falling across portions of those Finger Lakes. So, and that would be late on Saturday into Sunday morning. So note that if you have some Sunday morning errands to run, could be some slick roadways. Conditions are going to be much cooler on Sunday as well. But trending into, on top of dealing with some precipitation, we're also going to be dealing with windy conditions. Now, we note that temperatures temperature trends, as we mentioned, we saw warming overnight. We continue that warming all the way through that lunch hour. We hit about 50 degrees, which is above average for this time of the year. But that's when that frontal system passes, which will keep us under a chance for a few isolated showers there into the afternoon. But then temperatures fall just as quickly as they were warming, as we're back into those 30s by sunset, and we'll tumble into those 30s for only high temperatures on Sunday. And it's going to bring a stronger wind with it when that frontal system passes. Now, for those from Elmira off to the east, we see that wind gusts stay about 20 to 30 miles per hour. But the strongest of the winds, especially closer to the lakes, are getting upwards of even 40 to 50 miles per hour. We can even see that at Bath, getting to about 45 miles per hour. So there are some of those wind alerts in place, as through the Finger Lakes, that wind advisory is going to continue with that strong wind throughout our Saturday as that frontal system makes its passage. And you'll really be able to feel it with the temperatures, as we see, again, we mentioned, we hit that 50-degree threshold all across the area. Even without seeing some of those strongest winds, we still have that warming trend even under some of this wet weather. But as we climb slightly below average, we're looking to be above average, we go below average. Now, not significantly, we're only off by about a few degrees, but still going to feel cooler after a warm day. Winds will calm on Sunday, but we'll note that as we head into the extended forecast, we continue to ride a roller coaster weather pattern with more chances to bring in some showery weather through the rest of the week.
Florida may reverse its decision on Disney's special status. A warning about children's clothing, and Pepsi has a twist on milk and cookies for Santa. CJ Papa has today's business briefs.
New reports indicate Florida may reverse its decision on Disney World's self-governing status. State lawmakers are apparently working on plans to restore the Reedy Creek District. The compromise would allow Disney to continue taxing itself over the costs of providing water, power, roads, and fire services around its theme parks. Disney was stripped of that power following its opposition to Florida's parental rights in education bill. An important warning to parents. The Consumer Product Safety Commission issuing a recall for nearly 87,000 pieces of children's clothing manufactured by Bentex. The items reportedly posed a lead poisoning hazard. They were all sold at retailers including TJ Maxx, Ross, Didi's Discount, and Burlington, and online at Amazon from November of 2021 to August 2022. And not sure if this one is naughty or nice. A new trend called Pilk is making a splash on social media with a little help from Lindsay Lohan.
Ooh, naughty. Pepsi and milk. Pilk.
If you want to make your own Pilk, the recipe involves milk, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of vanilla creamer, and, of course, Pepsi. For more stories, log on to foxbusiness.com. I'm CJ Papa.
Worried your holiday cards and gifts won't be delivered on time this year? Well, the U.S. Postal Service says with more employees and new machines, it's confident it will see more on-time deliveries this holiday season. Rebecca Castor reports from a mail distribution center in Tampa, where employees are already working around the clock.
It's almost like Santa's workshop in here, with the holiday rush in full swing. Postal carriers struggled the last 2 years to keep up with the demand from online shopping during the pandemic. But this year, the Postal Service says it's the most ready it's ever been.
It's really our Super Bowl is what we refer to it as. And it's really our time of year to shine.
Megan Conley, the Tampa plant manager, says Cyber Monday kicked off this holiday season as one of their busiest days so far.
We're definitely seeing the surge with the online purchases and orders. I think that this year is trending up to be one of our largest yet.
But the Postal Service planned all year to keep up with this demand. It hired 100,000 workers and installed 137 package sorting machines at facilities across the country.
It is a parcel sorting machine, has the capability of doing over 3,000 parcels per hour.
Nationwide, the Postal Service can now process up to 60 million packages per day compared to 53 million last holiday season.
It's crazy amount of packages.
Floor worker Nair Brown finds joy in the rush.
Kind of feel like a taller elf. In so many words, just being a helper, being, joyous, bringing, that joy to my peers, and also to, the people that I work for.
These improvements to the Postal Service are all part of the Delivering for America plan, a 10-year project under the Biden administration to get mail deliveries to 95% on-time performance.
We are holiday ready. Give us your packages and letters. We're ready to go.
You'll want to keep in mind the mailing deadlines for your packages to arrive by Christmas. For regular ground service, you'll want to ship by December 17th. For Priority Express, you can ship until December 23rd. In Tampa, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Still ahead, artists teaming up. We'll hear from some country music stars about making hits together. From a classroom teaching tool to a worldwide craze, the iconic Rubik's Cube is almost 50 years old, and the man who invented it is giving some insight on why it's so popular. Ashley Strohmeyer has more.
It's one of the best-selling toys of all time. Now, nearly 50 years after its invention, the mind behind the Rubik's Cube is reflecting on the iconic puzzle's universal appeal.
For me, the cube represents what freedom means. Freedom means it's never endless.
Hungarian architecture professor Erno Rubik created the puzzle back in 1974. The goal? Twist it until each face of the cube is a single color. But even he wasn't sure it could ever be unscrambled. The original Rubik's Cube has more than 43 quintillion possible combinations, but only one is correct.
If we find a challenge and find something difficult and find a solution, is much more enjoyable than to find something that is trivial.
The toy has grown into an empire of its own with more than 450 million cubes sold. New generations are getting hooked as competitions to solve the Rubik's Cube in record time pop up around the world. Some are even taking a unique approach by ditching their hands and using their feet instead.
I actually started practicing with my feet more because my hands started to hurt from too much hand cubing. At first it was really hard to do. It took me like 10 minutes to solve.
If it's hard for you to solve just using your hands, Rubik says his best piece of advice is to break it down into steps. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Well, there are a lot of fun collaborations in music these days, featured in albums, during award shows, and on tour. And we spoke with several artists at this year's CMA Awards about this process of working with fellow musicians, how much fun they have with it, and who they'd love to team up with next. Here's Ashley Vorkin.
From combining vocals to song ideas, artists find inspiration in collaboration.
I think it would be silly to not try to learn something from everyone that you work with and everyone that you tour with. And being around people like Miranda Lambert and Dierks Bentley, I see the way that people feel when they're around them, and that's made a really big impact on my life.
Elle King thanks collaborations for bringing her into the genre.
Country has just totally changed my life, my band's life, my family's life. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, once I saw all this, everyone was so happy and so happy for each other and rooting for each other's successes. And that's how I want to raise my son, to see that.
Jelly Roll says collabs are great for artists and the audience.
I think collaborations are just important for exposure to each other's people. I think it's showing people that people are more alike than we think they are. And I think that's what makes it special.
Dierks Bentley gets inspired watching artists team up, like on the CMAs.
Just hearing different voices together, and it makes you think about your next album and who do you want to collaborate with.
Chapel Hart reflects on working with Darius Rucker on the song Old Church Hymn.
Darius is the most amazing human being you will ever meet. Yes. Let me just say, he has the best laugh in the entire world.
They add everyone takes a lot from the process.
It's always fun when you can dig into an idea, but have it from so many different perspectives as well. Because and we get that a lot just writing together.
And Lindsay L shares who's next on her wish list to work with.
Probably Chris Martin from Coldplay, or maybe a little Ed Sheeran collab, you know.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
We'll be back with more right after this. And we want to leave you with a smile. Have you ever wished you could change a scene in a movie? Well, lots of customer feedback could help Netflix in how it provides content. A report says Netflix is going to enlist tens of thousands of customer previewers who could affect content in shows as it airs. The 2021 release Don't Look Up received reviews by previewers. Netflix made changes to its content, and the show later went on to get nominated for 4 Academy Awards. The previewers will be from around the world, and they will answer surveys about what they did and didn't like. Netflix has 223 million subscribers globally, and the company hopes more previewers make for better content and more viewers. I'm Harriet Wallace. Thanks for watching.